Hi, how you doing? Thanks for looking on this video. In this video, I'm going to give some very off-the-cuff advice about 4 people who've been placed on probation supervision. First bit of advice is that it's your order or your license. It's your period of probation supervision, and take responsibility for it. Take ownership of it. You own it, okay? Don't fight it. Pace yourself. At first you have to, turn up once a week, but gradually as you progress, the reporting requirement will reduce. But please, please, please use it as an opportunity for doing something positive for yourself rather than being in prison. My advice is to sit down and have a think. You're at a crossroads in your life, and have a think, what is really important in your life? Prioritise what's really important to you. What you can do is draw these blank squares and you put the most important things in your life. Who or what do you want to achieve in life? What things are really, really important? Then think what you want to achieve, and you break one square at a time, and you only tackle one thing at a time. For me, top priority has got to be your nearest and dearest, those close to you, in your family, your partner. So it's top priority to try and build bridges and keep strong bridges, good positive relationships with those near you. Maybe through getting into trouble, you've damaged these a bit and you need to get back on track with these. Now, a very, very strong piece of advice is to be upfront and honest with your probation officer. If you've got any problems or particularly addiction issues, be honest about them. It's no point going in and lying about it. Be honest and ask for help. If you want to address these addiction issues, your probation officer will have a lot of expertise, experience in dealing with these, and also can put you in touch with people who can help you. But please be honest with about these problems. Many of us are brought up to be kind of macho and not to talk about feelings, but being on probation supervision is an opportunity for you to talk about feelings. So do so. Take a good opportunity to discuss what's going on for you and what issues are going on for you in life. It's very important, really. The main aim of probation is to work on strategies to help you avoid reoffending. So have a lot of thought about that, and you've got to take steps to avoid places that could get you into trouble or people who could get you into trouble. And if you bump into old associates, you've got to be really assertive with them and say, look, I did used to be involved, but sorry, I don't do crime anymore. Be really assertive. You're on supervision instead of being in prison, so make the most of it, Now, do be assertive with your probation officer and do ask questions, and perhaps prepare for each appointment and write down notes before you go for your appointment about things that you want to discuss with your probation officer. Plan, take hold of the interview sessions and use them for you. It's your supervision, and make good use of your time. Perhaps right at the outset, you say to your probation officer, right, what are my reporting requirements? What happens if I don't attend? And things like that. What do you expect? How can you help me on probation? What can you do to help me go in a positive direction in life? Ask questions like that. If you need to arrange an appointment, do so. Contact your probation officer and say, look, I need to rearrange because. Don't just not turn up without any excuse. You really need a valid reason for not turning up. So make sure you keep your appointments. My advice is keep a diary and, make sure you got your appointments in there and perhaps make a little note of what you've been discussing. Now, for any reason you're not happy with your probation officer, you feel that your probation officer, you just don't get on, or you have issues with your probation officer, ask to see the senior probation officer, and you are within your rights to be asked to be supervised by somebody else. I mean, I'm now retired from the probation service, but I can tell you that it did happen quite a lot, this sort of thing, that not always people were very happy. And quite often, actually, I was the safe pair of hands, and I used to get people who weren't happy with their probation officers. And very often we sorted it out and we went off in a positive direction. And believe me, over the years that I worked as a probation officer, quite a few made fantastic turnarounds in their lives. And it was down to them, but I helped facilitate that. But that motivation to change came from the people that I was supervising. Now, one of the proudest people that I helped turn around is a guy who started offending age 8. And over the years, he used to track me down and, he became quite a persistent offender, but he managed to turn his life around. He started up his own business eventually, and he stayed out of trouble. And I'm so proud of that guy. Another one, he stopped going to school age 12. And cut a long story short, by the time I'd finished supervising him, he had a law degree. Can you imagine a guy who stopped going to school age 12, and by the time, he completed his period of supervision, he stopped offending, and not only that, he got a law degree. I mean, what a fantastic achievement. And can you imagine how proud I felt of that? So it is possible to make fantastic turnarounds. I remember 2 women I supervised made huge turnarounds. They're leading, appropriate lives, and they become substance misuse counsellors, and they're really good at their job too. So it is really possible to turn your life around. Be motivated to do it, have a go at it, and really, use that opportunity and ask for help, to go in a positive direction in life. And if you don't feel your probation officer is helping you enough, ask to see the senior probation officer. Okay? But all the very best. Don't forget, this is your order, your responsibility, and you're going to succeed. All the best now. Cheers. Bye-bye.